And boys and girls, we're back after a super long hiatus. Sports Unplugged. I'm your host, Leon Rogers, when I'm here. And across from me is my man that pushes all the buttons and the bells and the whistles, my man, Big Mad. What's up, dog?
What up, man? It's been a minute.
Look, first of all,
Want to apologize?
I want to apologize that we haven't been doing the show. But I'm going to take this time, to throw my partner under the bus.
What?
This is what I'm going to do.
Wait, what?
Now.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know.
This wasn't part of the show prep?
Yeah, it's going to be. No, I got to do it. Listen. Listen. I got a gig with the NBA.
Right.
Where I've been going out of town with them for the past 8 weeks. So I normally leave on Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Okay.
Which are days we normally tape the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because I'm not here,
right?
Even though I'm the host, I'm the lead, and this show is built around me.
This is
success rests solely
on your shoulders.
That does not mean Ahmed could not have taken the initiative.
What?
As the executive producer of the show, as the guy who pushes the bells and whistles.
What?
To have some people come in, like the lovely Candace could have sat in here with him, and he and her could have done the show. Brian Crawford, who's been on the show before. I mean, we have a bevy of people he could have called up and just done shows and said, we're holding down the fort for Leon till our gracious leader gets back. Just because the president is away from the United States of America, the government does not stop moving. So, with that being said, I'm taking it all off on me because he knew I was going to be gone for the next 8 weeks. I didn't even do the car and bike show for the radio station, okay? But they found somebody to replace me. Shout out to Al B. Silk. So, you guys didn't get any Sports Unplugged. It's a man's fault. I'm just going to go with that. Really got nothing else.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
If this is first 48, I just told. Nah, but it's good to be back, man.
Yeah.
Getting one in before I go out of town. I'm actually headed to New York tomorrow to sit in on the draft, NBA draft. I'll be there. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, that's dope.
Today.
You're gonna be at the draft?
We're going to be at the draft.
Man.
So that ought to be cool, pretty cool. And we're going to get into a little bit of that, what I think the Bulls should do, who I'd like to see the Bulls get, but it's probably not going to happen. But right now, let's talk about that final series that just ended. One of the better finals. The ratings were crazy for it. I think it was the second highest finals, Game 7, watched next to Boston and L.A. in 2010.
Yeah.
Good numbers. LeBron James gets title number 2.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade, he says don't call him D-Wade anymore. His name is 3 because he's got 3 titles. And Tim Duncan, is this the last hurrah for him, Ahmed? You think he's going to ride off into the sunset?
Yeah.
Because he had mentioned about retiring.
Well, no, he's not going to retire. He said he's gonna finish it. His last 2 years left in his contract.
2 years, and then he's going to go.
And then he's going to go, and then Popovich is going to be gone.
Yeah,
I'm out. Would they be done? I'm done.
I don't know. If I'm a player on San Antonio, like if I'm a Tony Parker who still got a few years left, if I'm a Kawhi Leonard, Greg Popovich just basically told y'all ain't shit. When Duncan out of here, I'm gone.
Nah, see, that'd be something like if
Why are you leaving? Because Duncan leave. You don't think you can win with us?
No, see,
you don't think
no,
you can win
it'd be
with
one
us?
thing if it was like Doc Rivers doing what he's doing right now.
With us?
Like Doc Rivers say, I don't want to rebuild or something like that. Well, but what I'm saying is Popovich saying, I'm old. I don't really feel like doing this.
You, Pop? You don't think you can win with us?
I'm just saying.
It's not like you got a bunch of Ron Artest on your team. Steven Jackson's not here anymore. You got rid of the one crazy dude that was on the squad.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
I have no problem with Pop saying I'm going to be out of here when Tim Duncan leaves. I have no problem with that. Go ahead, man. Get up out of there. Hey, man, he's keeping it honest. Most coaches.
I ain't shit, you can't do it.
I love it when coaches do in college when they.
That's just bogus in college because those are kids. I understand these are grown men, but still, I'm like Doc really has a legitimate beef. All right, man, with no KG and Paul Pierce, what am I going to do? Rondo, I can't build a team.
But the funny thing is, watch Boston probably come back with KG and Paul Pierce and Rondo and Doc gone. I'm just like, well,
yeah, but I mean,
I understand he didn't want to go through a rebuilding phase. Yeah. I get that. The thing with the Spurs is, as long as Popovich is there, and you got Tony and you got Kawhi, and please Ginobili retired this year. I
don't think Ginobili should retire. I just think he had a bad series.
Ginobili's is old, man.
Done? You think he's done?
It's not so much done. It's just what they need from him, what they're expecting from him. He can't do that
Man,
anymore.
he didn't give it to him in the finals.
He didn't give it to him. He didn't give it to him in the entire playoffs, man.
Yeah,
he had one good game the entire playoffs.
And once they figured out the whole Tony Parker thing, that's when Miami zoned in.
But the thing is, the Spurs should have won that series.
But let's talk about games. Well, first of all, let's talk about Game 6.
Yeah.
Which we were sitting in Hooters. Me and my cousin were sitting in Hooters, and there was a guy sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went up by, I think it was 5, right? They went up by 5 or 6. No, they went up by 6.
Hold on, before you go in, let me just break down something real quick on my end. I didn't see Game 6.
Okay.
I didn't watch Game 6.
Well,
hold on. I didn't watch Game 6. I was at a concert that I had to do for work, so I couldn't watch Game 6. But I was on my phone updating the scores, and then my phone died, and I started to panic. And I'm like, well, the game should be over. The Spurs won the championship. When my phone died, they were up by 8, and then I asked somebody, hey, man, what's going on with the score? They said the Spurs are up by 2. I was like, what the hell's happening? And next thing I found out they were in overtime. That's that. I didn't realize what really happened until the next day.
Listen.
That's when I got pissed.
Listen.
Now you may continue.
Okay. So I'm watching the game.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, LeBron hits the 3 on the tap out from Chris Bosh, which I thought Pop made a big mistake by not having Duncan in the game.
Yeah, that confused
Duncan grabs
me.
that rebound. I don't care, whatever. Best players on the floor.
Yeah.
Crunch time. LeBron hits the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Come back. I told him, I said, they're going to foul Kawhi Leonard. I said this in the middle of Hooters. I said, they're going to foul Kawhi Leonard. He's going to make one. He's going to miss one. And it's Ray time. I literally looked this guy. He bet me a beer. We bet a Stella.
Right.
I don't remember your name, buddy, but if you look at this, he bet me a Stella. I said, I will buy you a Stella. And then Ray came down and hit the 3 on the tap out once again from Chris Bosh.
No Tim Duncan, right?
No Tim Duncan. And I just couldn't understand that for the life of me. Sometimes you can coach too much. You got to believe in your star players. And I don't know why Pop didn't have Duncan in the game. But anyway, once they go into overtime, I said, this is Miami's game.
Oh, it's over.
Game 7, and you just lost the title. The San Antonio Spurs lost the title Game 6.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see a scenario where they were going to win Game 7.
No way.
No. If they had lost Game 6, just a regular loss, all right, they had a bad game or something like that, I said, okay, they might fight back and win Game 7. I can get the Spurs that. But the way they lost Game 6, because they should have won that game,
right?
I was like, you don't come back from that. Mentally, you're done. I'm done. I'm finished. And they tried. It was a good game, Game 7. But the thing is, when I got home and I saw the highlights the next day, and I was like, so wait, they were up by 5 with 20 seconds left in the game? That game should be over.
Yeah.
If you up by 5 with under 24 seconds left, which means it should
let them
be
foul you, make one, miss one, all the way out. You still good.
You still straight. You up by 5. And if they're missing them, that means more time is ticking off the clock. I was like, how the hell did y'all lose this game?
Game 7, I think LeBron shut up a lot of his critics, but he's still going to have some. First and foremost, I've always said, I'll be one to say, I've said it on this show, I've said it on any other show I've sat in on. LeBron James gets too much unjust criticism.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of stuff he gets shitted on for is not a big deal. The decision, yeah.
That was bad.
That was bad.
That was bad.
I'm going to be LeBron James. You're going to be you.
Uh-huh.
True, but wrong. You can't say that. When he said it, I was like, well, he is right. He is LeBron James, $90 million Nike man, and I'm Leon Rogers, thousandaire. Okay. The not 1, not 2, that was blown out of proportion.
That was him being in front of a home crowd
and that was him
pumped
being
up.
energetic and hype about his new situation.
Right.
Derrick Rose, Kevin Durant do that. They'd be like, oh, they're ready to roll. They're exuberant. But you wanted to put the bad guy hat on. And I don't even care about them coming out with the smoke and stuff in Miami. You're supposed to do that. You're at home. You're supposed to get the fans.
They're acting like they forgot when Shaq got down there.
You're supposed to get them hyped.
Remember when they had Shaq the whole billboard and he had
the Jabberwockies and everybody.
I mean, they had a huge thing for Shaq. It's what Miami does. Miami puts on a show.
My thing at the end of the day is he gets a lot of unnecessary criticism. And I think sometimes he listens to the media and news too much. In Game 6, let's go back to Game 6. Late in the game, he had a turnover in the last seconds, and I felt like that turnover was created by the media and the fact that he had been listening to everybody said he needed to be more selfish and take the shot. But I was like, not at the cost of killing your team.
Right.
Even the great Michael Jordan knew, maybe I should pass this.
Right.
And would pass it occur. When he drove to the basket and got stripped, he had 4 people on him. I think right then the clock was ticking in his head. If I don't take the shot, they're going to say I'm shying away from greatness. But meanwhile, you got 2 knockdown shooters on the wing
right.
for the ball, Mike Miller or whatever. And I just feel he let the media get into his head on that one. Now, Game 7, he turned up and did his thing.
Yeah.
No one can complain about it. In the fourth quarter, he stretched San Antonio out. And Tim Duncan, Mr. Stable, Mr. Fundamentally
He's the one that choked. He knows it.
Short hook and a putback.
With Shane Battier on
guarding him. You give him that same scenario 5 times in a row, he makes that shot 5 times.
Even Shane said it had nothing to do with my defense. He just missed it.
He just missed it. And missed the
he missed the putback so badly.
The putback was horrible.
I'm like, how'd you airball the putback, dog? You airballed the putback.
But I'm glad the Heat won. I wanted to see them win. And I actually want to see them three-peat. And then when the one thing that LeBron could do where he could differentiate himself from Jordan and Kobe and the rest of the guys.
Win 4?
If he wins 4 in a row.
Yep.
Now he has to sit at the table as great as ever for the simple fact is got just as many. My MVP total was straight. Every finals I've been in and I've won, I've gotten the MVP because I haven't won all my finals.
Right.
I've gotten the MVP when we won. And I've done something that even the great Michael Jordan didn't do. I won 4 in a row. And people can say, well, Mike retired to go play baseball. Well, that's on him. I won 4.
Well, he can't, and he came back. He got knocked out of the playoffs the first time back. Now, the thing about you go into the Jordan comparisons and things like that. Obviously, when people like to compare him and Jordan and their numbers and everything like that. And if you saw like Numbers Never Lie, they kind of showed his hardware that his hardware right now at the same age is about the same. But I'm like, always keep in mind that Jordan came into the game a little bit later than he did. And let's look at those 7 to 8 years after that. Right. So Jordan kept getting. Oh yeah, Jordan kept evolving as a player. Exactly. And the thing is, when I look at LeBron, does LeBron have an opportunity to become the greatest ever? I think he does. He definitely does. And he doesn't numbers wise, and he doesn't even have to win the same amount of, more championships than Mike, because the 4 MVPs by itself is very impressive. Crazy. 4 MVPs by now, all before 30. Right. The thing about Jordan was a lot of people said people just got tired of voting for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have won it every year. He was in the league. Every year he was like, after he won that first one, he could have won it every year after that. Because he was the most valuable they gave it to Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, David Robinson. There was a lot of people that got it. It was like, well, Mike should have won that one. But the thing is, nowadays they gave it to Derek because it was a good story that year, and Derek led the team to the best record in the league. So you can almost give him a pass on that one. Wasn't so much they were tired of LeBron. LeBron just made the decision, just switched to Miami. Derrick Rose, Bulls came out of nowhere that year to become the best team record-wise in the league. So I understand why they went in that direction. They're not going to get tired of voting for LeBron. LeBron's going to win the MVP next year, and probably the year after that. Yep. I don't see any. Do is do what he does every year. And this is what he averages. You know what I'm saying? This is what this man averages. This is how he plays the game. And there's no other player in the NBA that can put the stat lines up that he put up. Like Kevin Durant, he can do it all. 45 points, 3 rebounds. Carmelo, and those are the only 2 guys that can come close. Carmelo and 30 points. Carmelo give you some rebounds, but he ain't passing. And he can't. His efficiency is nowhere near. And he ain't passing the ball. So it's like. So the next one in line is LeBron, who can give you 30, 15, and 15, and then throw about 4 or 5 blocks. Right. So it's just like ridiculous ass. LeBron is going to win the MVP probably for the next 2 years. This man's going to end up with probably the most MVPs ever. That's how I look at it. But like I said, I think in order for him to really get that, because
I don't compare them style of play.
No, you
He
can't
doesn't compare to Mike.
he is
He's his own entity.
that's why I think and that's another reason why he could go down as the greatest, because he's a combination of
but
so many players.
For me to go down as the greatest, he has to do something that Mike has never done. Mike has 4 MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Mike has never lost in a final. Now, we know he can't do that.
Right.
But what he can do is, if he wins 4 titles in a row, he's like, I won 4 in a row. You didn't win 4 in a row.
Right.
Even if he wins 4 in a row, then loses, then come back next year and win. I won 4 in a row. No, the last person to do that was a man by the name of Bill Russell.
Yeah. Bill Russell's the only
Nobody else.
Yeah, that's
only
it.
one. So I'm in a elite class that you're not even in.
Right.
Mike. And who knows? You know, if Mike hadn't took off, maybe the Bulls could have went 8
Yeah,
straight.
you never know.
Who knows? But, you know, when you gamble, you got to sit down. You gotta rest. Yeah, come on, man. Nobody goes and plays 162 game baseball season because they say they want to rest, and you're riding a damn refurbished Greyhound bus everywhere. Yeah, you wanted to rest. Okay.
But what amazed me was seeing how LeBron. The funny thing about it was how LeBron, his whole legacy changed in Game 6.
Yeah,
he loses Game 6.
Done.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing how ready people were ready. Well, LeBron, you're done.
Yep.
Who's
on target next?
Game 6 changed his legacy. It's amazing.
Now I'll say this. I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
2 questions. One.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bullseye come off LeBron a little bit and switch to, let's say, maybe a Kevin Durant, a Melo, or Derrick Rose? Is now their time to shine? And 2, does Miami break up a few parts of that team to try to get other people in there? Dwayne Wade struggled. Dwayne Wade struggled through the playoffs, and I know his knee is hurting him, but
right.
even I just Dwayne Wade is showing his age.
Dwayne Wade is showing his age, but Dwayne Wade's not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
He's won 3 championships in Miami. He's not going anywhere. Chris Bosh, I mean, after the game, everyone was talking about this, and you have to say that Chris Bosh is the only guy they can really move. You know, I guess.
How would you move Chris Bosh?
I mean, honestly, if you're willing to pay the money that you're going to have to pay to keep the team together, go ahead and pay it. It ain't my money. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Harrison, you want to pay that extra luxury tax to have all these guys making over $20 million? Go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? But the question is, Chris Bosh really didn't give you much in the playoffs this year. He really didn't. So your question is, can I flip Chris Bosh and turn him into more assets that are cheaper, that can give me similar production? You know? Can you give me a big man that can really just go in there and bang with anybody down there?
True.
You know, that's the question you have to ask. So that's how I look at it. If I'm going to trade Chris Bosh, I need another big man that can actually do big man things, because Chris Bosh is a finesse player that likes to shoot the ball and stand outside the 3-point line and doesn't want no parts. Sometimes it looks like of contact on the inside.
Right.
So, you know, can you do without that? I think so. I think they can trade Chris Bosh and get some.
You soft, boo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they can trade Chris Bosh and get some stuff back that can help.
Love.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. No.
Over with for the league.
I don't want to see that because even though
I think Chris Bosh would fit with that Minnesota.
Well, but here's my thing. My thing is, even though Kevin Love is not maybe as athletic as Chris Bosh, or maybe as skilled as Chris Bosh is with footwork and everything like that, Kevin Love just finds 15 to 20 rebounds
and
every
a physical
game,
presence inside,
and can take the ball outside and shoot the 3.
Yeah,
on a more consistent
from the
basis.
4 spot.
Exactly. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. No one wants to see that.
Problems for the league.
Because Kevin Love will average
easy 20 and 15.
No. 15 and 20. 15 and 20. So I mean that's the thing. I think they're gonna break the team up. I don't know if it'll be this year or the year after. I think they're gonna keep the team. They're trying to see if they can keep the team together for a three-peat. But the only player that can leave this team is Chris Bosh by trade. But he's the only one that's worth anything to anybody outside, of course, that the Miami Heat are willing to give up.
What do you think?
And the target, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
It's going to go to him.
It goes on him.
Yeah, Darren's going to go on him because with Carmelo,
he's playing with nothing.
I think with Carmelo, people just don't care. As in,
I still
no.
to this day, Carmelo has not.
But I just don't think people care what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like Carmelo scores, ooh, that's nice. But they're expecting Kevin Durant to get to the finals.
Why?
I don't know.
He's been there before.
Because he's been there before, and
he's had a better team.
I understand that, but I think the expectations on Kevin Durant are a lot higher than Carmelo Anthony. They just feel Carmelo Anthony is just that dude who'll score a whole bunch of points, and they really don't see anything else.
I think Carmelo Anthony.
He's AI. He's a big AI.
Yeah, but AI also won an MVP, and I think Carmelo Anthony could win an MVP with a team. Like, you know, I get kind of upset when they're like, "Oh, Carmelo Anthony, a black hole," but I said you can't. If we go look at the rosters he's been on, minus Chauncey Billups, he's played with no one that can consistently score and help him out. No one. J.R. Smith, this is the best season of his career as a pro.
Yep.
So when you tell me Amari Stoudemire, done.
Yep.
That's what he's got. Now, it'd be different if I saw him with a team like the Bulls and they couldn't get out the second round. And you've got a Derrick Rose.
Right.
You got a Joakim Noah. You got a Boozer. I'm like, okay, you can get out. You can do some damage with that. You should be able to make it to these kind of finals. You should be able to make it to the finals with that team. Between you and Derrick alone, that's got to be 50.
But then think about it. Who did LeBron have on that finals team with the Cavs?
Nobody. But the
thing is,
two things though. One, the East was crap that year. Two, LeBron's a different animal. Like LeBron,
I know he makes everybody better.
Totally different way, and he's a facilitator. He can draw.
I honestly believe you put LeBron on every team, maybe minus the Bobcats, and
I believe he can make them better.
Well, no, he'll make them better. But what I'm about to say is, they're in final contention. Yeah, I think the
Even
Bobcats.
The Wizards,
the Wizards, they got pieces that LeBron can work with. If you put LeBron on the Wizards, he can get into the finals, I believe. The Bobcats, though, that's tough. No, I can't think of another. I think if you put him on any team.
Not Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, Phoenix is.
Sorry, Shannon. Phoenix terrible. Phoenix terrible.